you like a motion for that?
Yes, just for clarity of where the next direction.
All right. If you want to tweak it after, feel free. I move to authorize Manager Graham to develop a plan for 2020 for the township for strategic planning and goal setting, considering the higher ranking items outlined in the report and the capacity of staff.
I would support that. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. (11D) has been removed, so we're moving on to committee reports. Planning Commission.
Some of this will be a bit redundant, but the Planning Commission met on December 16th, 2019. It was the official public hearing on an ordinance to allow the retail sale of adult use marijuana in the township. 7 members of the public spoke. 2 were against allowing this in the township. After a motion was made to pass, there was further discussion suggested by the PC chair to require a buffer of 500 feet from property lines, especially relative to schools and churches, but it was discussed and decided that that didn't necessarily apply in the township, and the limitation of any retail establishment to a C3 zone eliminated a need for buffer language. So the commission went on to pass the ordinance as presented by the planning zoning administrator by a vote of 6-1. We have endorsed that tonight. The only other discussion on the agenda was what time to start planning commission meetings in 2020. Some of us thought, let's move it to 6. It's a long time to wait till 7, especially when you work at the township hall all day. But it was decided to stick with 7 o'clock. The chair felt that allowed the public more opportunity to attend such meetings. The next meeting of the Planning Commission will be Monday, January 27th. Thank you.
Thank you. John, did you email that report? Thank you.
Road Commission.
I have nothing to report.
No report. Fire Board.
Yeah, can I make a comment about Road Committee? Just as a reminder, tomorrow at 7 p.m. there's the 2020 primary road millage meeting with the Allegan County Road Commission. That's in Allegan at their offices. I will be attending, and I'm happy to drive anyone from the board who would like to attend, but that is the annual conversation. So if I can back up just briefly, the township board directly allocates funding for local road projects. We can give some feedback or some comments, but that the road commission gets to determine primary road projects, and that's partially what this meeting tomorrow is for.
I have another commitment. So.
Is there anything you're going to try to, sway them on, or anything that's glaring that you would see?
I plan to attend. Again, still being in my first year, and through the first cycle of all of this, I guess the direct answer to your question is no. But I plan to go and to be involved and to advocate for the township.
Okay. Fire Board, no report. Parks Commission.
We submitted a Love Your Hometown request. The Allegan County Foundation every year has a program where it's called Love Your Hometown, and local school districts make a request for some, like last year, the milkweed plant, milkweeds, was a Saugatuck school district. And so we submitted one for the dog park to improve the fence that surrounds the large wooded area. What happens is they review the requests for the different school districts, pick 3 or 4 of them, and then, decide, and then the community votes on them. And that voting goes on for a couple of months, and at the end, the winner gets a $1,000 grant. So we did submit one for that. The other thing we'll do at our next meeting is review the Kalamazoo River,
Greenway plan.
repair, yeah, and then make some recommendation to the board, because I believe they requested that you vote, to support the plan, the Kalamazoo River restoration. The other thing is, it just came up, is there's several trees down at River Bluff. When we put the culvert in, we cut down probably 7 or 8 dead ash trees. There's a number of dead ash trees out there. It would probably be prohibitive to go out there and try and cut all those trees down. But we might wanna, and we'll talk about it at our next park meeting, talk to Glenn and go for a walk and try and cut down the ones that are close to the trail. It's probably not a good idea to have trees occasionally falling on the trail and potentially damaging some of the bridges that are out there. So we will do that and discuss that with you.
Glenn's already going out there too to take a look at some of the trees that are on the trail, and
Okay.
So we can probably do both.
Okay, good. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
I'd like to get with you too after the meeting, and maybe, I think I have my schedule here, and look at doing a parks walk.
Okay.
I have snow pants, I'm not scared of the 20-degree weather.
Okay, yeah, and the thing of it is, we probably will have a little more money in the budget. It looks like the snow plowing will probably be less than previous years.
Knock on wood.
Well,
We got a lot to do.
Hey, Jim, when's the next meeting?
This coming Tuesday.
Okay. I'm gonna ask, Township resident John Vanderbeek, I'd like to attend. He was pitching me on an idea that I think he should bring to the Parks Commission relative to tree planting, similar to what was done on Mount Baldhead. Maybe in conjunction with Arbor Day, he's willing to actually donate the white pines to this effort,
Yeah.
which could even include planting some outside our lovely township hall. So, I think the best way to handle that is say, John, get involved, go to the Parks Commission, see what they think. But just wanted to alert you.
Okay, yeah, I've planted lots of little trees, and so, enjoy planting little trees.
Little trees grow big.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emergency Services Committee. Oh, Cal Lake, there's the Cal Lake.
Cal Lake here? No?
Nope.
Good evening, guys.
Hello, David.
Report to you about our ambulance board meeting, that was December 12th, and everything, general business was all good. We got to meet the new regional manager for AMR, which is John Robin. He started here in July 2019, and he stated one of his first things that he did was to look over all the contracts that AMR has in Southwest Michigan. And he was kind enough to inform us that the contract that we have is not a financial, it's a financial burden to them, basically. It's not a stable one for them. And he informed us that the subsidy he would like to see raised up to, the down,
Yeah.
$195,000. I'll just stick to what I got written here, or what's here. He assured us, or said that because we're working under the old contract, which we don't even have a contract at this time, because it's been revised and changed, we have a new guy in place, but he told us that he would work under the terms of what we have until July 31st of 2020. Come August 1st of 2020, he is going to want to see us have a new contract with a new subsidy. So we need to be working and thinking what we're going to do. Again, service is good. It's still there, still in place. So we have approximately 7 months to decide how we want to go about this. How we're going to go about this, I don't know yet. I know at the meeting, everybody's breath was taken away when he raised it to $195,000. And he pretty much wanted to go and get our approval there, that you signed a check tomorrow, that this would be done. And of course, we can't do that. We got to bring it back to our board. So he said, yeah, we'll let you guys ride to next July, bring it to your boards, see what they want to do. That's what's happening probably this week with all the other townships having their meetings. So I will be contacting our board members and see what all the the other townships are doing, what they're thinking, what they wanna do. John did offer, a solution, right there, is that one option would be to cut the cost would be to lower the level of service. Now, what does that mean? Being in that seat, that means that ambulance will not be in Fenville. And where would we get our service from? Probably they'd have to service everybody south out of town. How far would they put a car on occasions? We don't know, but we never discussed what it would look like, so we'll just stop there with that. I've been calling people that have been in this business for many years. Mr. Stegman was my supervisor, operation manager of AMR for 10 or 15 years. I've been in contact with him. What can we do, what ideas, just brainstorming with people that I know have been in this business for a long time. So hopefully I can bring back some information, some ideas, of what we can do, what you guys want to do. You know, I know we went through a lot to get where we are today, and this guy comes from Washington State, has no idea the value of that Fenville system to Holland. I tried to point that out to him. So we just got to be patient, and overreact to what's here. Just let us work and see what we can come up with.
Tony, has there been any discussion of other providers? Is that a feasible thing to even talk about or look at?
Yes, because we have no contract, I understand we're open to go talk to anybody we want to. And that would be a question, now that you brought it up, if I will pursue that, through talking to Life Ambulance. Life Ambulance put in a bid, okay, I think it was a touch more, I think it was $198,000. But Life Ambulance has, and we'll get into this a little bit, Life Ambulance has just received the full, City of Walker just gave Life Ambulance the whole area. AMR and Life had split that. AMR was not performing as good as what Life was, so they gave it all to Life. Life has just took over some area just south of Lee Township and Fry. So he's getting closer to this area. It might be very appealing to him that AMR has done this, that he may want to come in. Now, with those thoughts, and talking to Mr. Stegman and some people who have been in this for a long time and keep track of what the trend is, the comment is, we pay for fire, we pay for the police department. We as communities may have to consider that we're going to have to pay to have an ambulance versus have it come from a private company, but we're going to have to kind of guarantee them that they will come. When I say us, all of this community here may have to be chipping in like we do for the fire department, for the police department. You know, we're just talking to some, maybe a millage. That's way down the road, but that might be the trend coming, because a lot of what people don't understand is when an ambulance call is made, if there's Medicaid, Medicare involved, they only get about $280 for a $1,000 call. And they only have 30 days to submit that bill, have it correct. If the medical coding is wrong, it comes back to AMR, it goes back, it's still not right, it's done. We got 30 days to collect that money. So there's a lot that we don't understand about that billing. Why is it a $1,000 call? Because they only get about $280 before they're done. So.
And that's a great deal of the calls are Medicaid. Yeah, it would make sense.
When you start getting South Holland, Holland's recovery rate for Mr. Stegman here just the other day is 85%. The farther south you get, it gets down to 40% recovery on those calls. So, again, we don't see all of that internal in the cost, what it takes to run an ambulance. You know, I can understand that why they want the 195. That still doesn't cover the wages of the medics that are there. It's just they're banking on the 195 and the rest of the calls to cover to break that even. And I have an idea what happened is that Holland and Fenville years ago were lumped as one, because the regional managers understood the value of Fenville and wanted to service them people. This new guy came in here and divided Fenville and Holland and looked at the cost, what it was costing. He says Fenville can't support itself, and he's the guy that wants to make AMR more money. He claimed that he said that he lost $15,000 in the last $15 million.
Don't take too much stock in what that.
Pardon me?
Don't take too much stock.
No. But what he didn't tell us is how much money he made, because there wasn't another ambulance service here that he got all out of that's where we're at. Maybe I'll come in, hopefully in a month, and I can meet with you guys and give you a report of what we're finding, suggestions of what we do, but, I say we have 7 months, but 7 months is you're gonna blink your eyes and
No.
it's done for.
Wow.
But,
No, and thank you, and I know how frustrating it is for you, because you're much more involved with this than any of us, but it's really disheartening.
Yes.
It's a slap in our face by AMR.
yeah,
It's rude, it's just, they begged us to keep the old contract as
Right.
it is.
right,
And we came in under that premise, and
yeah,
as you said already, there's not gonna be a millage this year to increase
No.
special assessment.
no,
We have what we have, and I love the idea of getting pitches.
Yeah.
It takes time.
okay, yeah,
There was only one other one last time, but I've heard good things about Life.
yeah,
They had good press, they're more local.
Yeah.
AMR is a huge national conglomerate,
yes.
so the more we can learn, I'm gonna cross my fingers, but
And,
it's a bad situation.
yeah, and Mr. Stegman, was referring to the fact that he's got his thumb on this stuff all the time. That's what he's born to do.
Yeah.
And been at the different meetings that Life was at. Life actually went and pitched Dave. Didn't pitch, he just gave an informational meeting in Holland, just to let everybody know he was here. And that tells me, because he's a very smart guy,
He knows what's going on.
he wants to come here.
Yeah.
So, and Steve
Might be
Stegman
willing
says,
to negotiate.
there are, every place that he has been given to, that he's now in, everybody is extremely happy with. So, he has changed that years ago, it wasn't that way, but he's improved.
Yeah.
He's always got good things going, a lot of good people, people are talking good about him. So, we might, I'll check into stuff and see what we can get.
Good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Good luck. Thank
We
you.
look forward to hearing from you in February, Tony. Thanks
Okay.
for all your work.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, open board report. Anybody want to start?
I don't have anything.
Brenda? I don't either. John?
I'm good.
I just have one thing, we have a great new township manager who did a beautiful, employment policy. And I just want to acknowledge that he's been here 6 months and he's due for his performance evaluation. I think all of us got a template for, filling out an evaluation. And if we could work on those individually or in teams together, and if Griffin could fill one out for himself and get them back to me, I will compile them and get a tentative performance evaluation put together to bring to the board.
When would you like this by?
Monday.
March 3rd?
I would like them by, the end of February. I know that's kind of a long time, but I will be gone part of that time, so that's when I would be able to compile the information. That's all I have. So we'll move on to the manager's report.
Can I ask one question
Yes.
about that? Do we want to tentatively plan to go into closed session and go over that at the
That
March
will be at
meeting?
your request.
Is that the
Yes.
timing
Yes.
you were thinking?
Mhm.
Okay. If I can go to the manager's report, I appreciate these couple minutes. A couple of the documents in your packet, I'm gonna try to not beat them to death, but at the end, I'm happy to take any questions. The first one is, a 6-month budget review. So here's a copy of our revenue and expenditure report, through the end of December. We're 6 months through our budget, so I thought it would be helpful to put this in front of all of you. I don't have anything specific to point out other than, I'm here to answer questions. I'll do my best to answer questions tonight if you have any. Otherwise, please feel free and reach out to me. And I'm happy to walk folks through this. I just think it's important that we put this in front of you. It's another one that, as we move forward and as my tenure here grows, I'd like to be able to do this more often. I think it's helpful for everyone, not only to keep staff accountable, but also to help the board understand some of the packet is some materials I received from AMR. I want to thank Tony for all his time. He even came in earlier today to go through some of this stuff with me, and I can't tell you how lucky I think we are to have someone like him with his experience advocating for us on this. But with that, I'm not going to go into it in more detail, but again, I'm happy to answer any questions. I think the key for the board and for the public to understand is at this point, the service is continuing. We just, as an organization, need to figure out what we want to do moving forward. And then lastly, I put a couple articles in here for you that were written by MSU Extension. I think these are really well written in terms of explaining some really complex topics such as the Headley Amendment Proposal A and some of the challenges impacting local government finance in a really digestible way. I think these are important for everyone to look at as outlining a possible step for the township in the future. As you can see from the very last page, our general operating millage has rolled back and has eroded from slightly over 1 mil to now we cannot collect more than 0.4117 mils. That's about 40%. And if anything, the township is being asked to do more. We, as everyone does, I mean, healthcare and garbage and recycling services and other things are going up. So I just point this out not to make a point other than to help educate the board and maybe just pose the question, has a Headley override been something that's ever been considered by the township? If not, is it something that we
Very unlikely.
Is it something that we would ever consider in the future? And I say that right now with just the understanding of there are several options we have moving forward. All of them are going to have pros and cons. I hope to be able to lay them out and talk them through with all of you over the next year. And as we move forward, find out if that's something we want to pursue or if we're happy exactly where we are. So a couple other real quick things. So the township received the results of the 2018-19 fiscal year audit. I've shared the reports with all of you. It's also available on our website if anyone from the public is interested in viewing that. Our auditor will be present at the February board meeting to give an overview of that to everybody. As I mentioned, tomorrow is the 2020 primary road millage meeting with the Allegan County Road Commission. Please reach out to me if you'd like to attend. I'm more than happy to drive any board member who'd like to go. I also received a scholarship to attend the Michigan Municipal Executives Winter Institute at the end of January. So if no one on the board objects, I want to let you know that I'd like to take advantage of that opportunity. That would have me out of the office January 29th, 30th, and 31st, which is the last week of the month. Lastly, as you mentioned, performance evaluations. I have one more to discuss with one of our employees, but other than that, I've completed staff performance evaluations, and just to you all, I want to highlight how great a team I think we have. Again, I'm a very new part of it, and I recognize that, but I think we've got a really cohesive group. I think we've got a group that brings a lot of different mindsets and a lot of different skill sets, and I think as a township and as an organization, we're very fortunate to have every single one of them. But with that, please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to discuss or answer any questions for anything in this packet. But other than that, if there's any discussion about format of the agenda, I know that was something that was mentioned at a future meeting too. Some changes were proposed, and I was getting pulled in a couple different directions, so we kept it exactly the same for this meeting. But if there is any feedback, if you'd like to see that different, I'd be more than happy to do so. My only suggestion would be, as staff, I really enjoy having the manager's comments towards the end of the meeting. I think it's really helpful to serve as a catch-all for things. Again, whatever the board would like to see, I'm more than happy to adapt, but that's my 2 cents, at least on the manager's report. So thank you.
Thank you. So we're
speak to you in regards to the vote you just had regarding the recreational marijuana ordinance, passing it. And I want to say thank you. I'm a two-time Afghanistan veteran, and I am barred from medical marijuana. VA does not authorize it, and if I seek medical card, I'll lose my VA coverage. Having access to something that's medically tested and safe is life-changing. Right now, I take about 15 different opiates, painkillers, mind-altering pharmaceuticals for a variety of different reasons, and I don't know that that's necessarily going to change. I don't know if marijuana is necessarily going to fix that, but it's hope. And with having nothing on the lakeshore, the closest facility, with the exception of the two potential recreational sites located here in our township, being Lowell, to the best of my knowledge, opening in March. Not that I've done an immense amount of research into that. It's over an hour away. So I want to say thank you. I don't know how much more I could communicate my gratitude for this, and I'm sure you guys don't get thanks a lot, but it does mean a lot to me, the fact that I don't have to choose between a street pharmacist and my health care. So, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks to sitting everything to have that opportunity. Appreciate that.
Is there anyone else that would like to make a public comment? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn the January Township Board meeting.